Hey everybody, this is Paul Stanley of KISS, and you're watching Boozoo. No, you're not. I almost said Boozoo, not a Boozoo. Yeah, I know. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Rockstar Cartoonist by Michael Lyons. Now put your hands together and please welcome Michael Lyons. Take it away, Michael Lyons. Thank you, Paul Stanley. And Mino Giga Jabe. Good morning. Welcome to Rockstar Cartoonist. I am Michael Lyons, and this is the live stream podcast about rock stars and cartoonists. Today our subject is David Bowie and Paul Stanley. No, Paul Stanley and David Bowie. Two great rock stars and cartoonists. Paul Stanley, of course, of KISS. David Bowie, of course, of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. And to get things started today, we have live via satellite Paul Stanley singing with Nana Boozoo and Natasha. And this is off of Paul Stanley's Soul Station album. This is an old classic Motown, Ooh La 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 La. Or I don't know what the song is called. What a price to pay. Ooh, baby, baby. Ooh, baby, baby.
Mistakes I know I've made a few, but I'm only human. You make mistakes too.
He's only human. You make mistakes too. You tell him, Paul.
Ooh, baby, baby. Ooh, baby, baby. I'm just too proud of baby, baby. But I can't stop trying. Baby, baby. 'Cause I believe one day I'll hold you near, whisper I still love you until the day's here. All right, people. Now, no matter whether you're with other people or you're home alone, you're not really alone because all of us are in this together.
That's right,
And music can bring us that much closer together. And when we sing, we're definitely a group. So don't be shy. It's going to feel really good. Here's what we want you to do. We'll sing it for you. It goes like this. Your turn. We'll do it again. You go.
Ooh, baby, baby. Ooh, baby, baby. Thank you, Paul. That was great. Ooh, Baby, Baby by Paul Stanley, Nana Boujou, and Natasha. And one of the things I love about Paul Stanley is that currently a lot of Kiss fans, I don't need this on, a lot of Kiss fans are under the false impression that Paul Stanley can't sing anymore. If you watch, I mean, every Kiss fan already knows this. During live concerts, there's been a lot of exposure of how Paul Stanley is lip syncing to tracks. He's not actually singing. And then there's also a lot of live video out there of Paul Stanley singing with Kiss, and his voice sounds utterly wrecked, like he's just can't sing the Kiss songs anymore. At the very same time, you just saw him, how he can still sing, not only as well as he has ever sang, but as well as anybody has ever sang. I don't know who originally sang Ooh, Baby, Baby. Somebody from Motown. But that is the, as a singer, to sing that song is one of the most difficult songs to sing. It's like singing something by Freddie Mercury, and he is just a master. He improved upon Ooh, Baby, Baby just in that little one live Zoom call song. But so Paul Stanley is awesome, and Paul Stanley is also a cartoonist. This is his self-portrait painting. People call him a painter, but this is a cartoon. The difference between a painting and a cartoon, or a drawing and a cartoon. Cartoons have words generally. You can have a cartoon without words, but cartoons are the next step, the highest level of two-dimensional art. So, there's drawings, it starts with cave drawings, and then pencil drawings, ink drawings, paintings, and then cartoons are on the top, which would be a drawing that also speaks, whether it's through animation or just lettering. So this is Paul Stanley, a picture of himself, and he's got the lyrics to Love Gun written right next to it. It says, "No place for hiding, baby, no place to run. You pulled the trigger of my love gun." Oh, and Paul Stanley's also a poet, obviously. He's not really speaking about a gun, kids. I think it's fine. I think it's a pretty decent painting, for an amateur. Here is my cartoon of Paul Stanley. Let me see if I can pause it. Oh, that's me and Steven. Hold on a second. Like it's coming up here. Order O Gibberish by Michael Lyons, a collection of cartoons and Ojibwe language instruction. Ojibwe language instruction. This is my Kickstarter project. This is from a couple of years ago, before my beard went gray. I should have shaved for this picture. Merry Christmas. That's my Christmas card from a few years ago. I think the next picture is Paul. Here we go. So I did a cartoon of Kiss and Paul Stanley. And I don't mind admitting that Paul Stanley is a better singer than I am. and a better guitar player. But I think I'm a better cartoonist. So here's Paul surrounded by Gene, Ace, Peter, Vinny, and Eric. And then they zoom up, colors, a little craziness there in space. And there you have it. Cartoons. Paul Stanley and Michael Lyons have never had a joint, we've never had a joint together. But I think it'd be cool if one day we could do an art show together where we both share some of our art. Paul, you don't have to put out every painting you've ever done and every... This is one of the problems with Paul's art. Paul also paints... I used to have a collection of all his work. But he'll paint like an old guitar and then sell that for $1 million. Not everything Paul paints is art, but I think it'd be fun to do an art show with music in the background of Kiss and myself. And our shared work. So Paul, if you ever see this, give me a call. Paul Stanley. Now what can I say about Paul Stanley as an artist? Well, Paul Stanley and David Bowie have a lot in common. It's weird that rock music culture and history doesn't really compare those two very often. David Bowie came into the music business in the late 60s. And Paul Stanley started Kiss in the early 70s. Paul will say his influences in life were, English rock bands like, Led Zeppelin or something, or actually a lot of Motown people. But he doesn't talk about David Bowie being such an influence. But Bowie, like Paul Stanley, both created characters to to be on stage. David Bowie's real name is David Jones, and when he became a rock star, his big influence was Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones. And so Mick Jagger, a Jagger is a type of knife. David Jones chose his name to be David Bowie, like the Bowie knife. Comparable. Paul Stanley's real name is Stanley Eisen, but one of his heroes was Paul McCartney from the Beatles, and Paul, so he took the name Paul, and then his first name, Stanley, he made as his last name, so Paul Stanley. David Bowie is a huge influence of mine. Oh, anyway, so those two are very comparable because they were both multimedia artists. The songs they wrote and the characters they created to interpret those songs, that was all part of the same thing. They didn't just write a song and then put on makeup. It was their characters creating music and experiences and visual stuff. And, Kiss and Bowie fans kind of understand this, but we've never really been able to express it in a good way. People who don't get Kiss or David Bowie, it's because they don't understand that aspect. David Bowie also has done a lot of art, and it's okay. Probably the best visual art that David Bowie does is himself as an actor and being the actor in his videos. He gets a lot of help from other artists in his music videos. I should have pulled up "Strangers When We Meet." My favorite David Bowie video, and one of my favorite Bowie songs, is the song "Strangers When We Meet." And he's basically a character in that video of a puppeteer who creates a like Raggedy Ann puppet without strings and falls in love with her and her with him. And it's a beautiful, it almost looks like a silent film. It's just the most incredible thing. But all that, what predates that stuff, David Bowie became famous when he created a character called Ziggy Stardust. And he called his band the Spiders from Mars. And he would come out in makeup and crazy costumes. But he wasn't, his character was some kind of alien or fallen angel or somebody who wasn't fitting into society. Doesn't fit, it was from somewhere else, some other world. And is sort of tragically here. This is Ziggy Stardust the cat. When David Bowie played the character Ziggy Stardust, he'd start his concerts. He'd come out and he'd be like, "Hello, my name is Ziggy, and these are the spiders from Mars." And the album, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, was a story of this maybe alien who came to Earth, some sort of, otherworldly person who came to Earth and became a rock star. But eventually his fans turned into like some sort of mad cult. And when his fans eventually ended up killing somebody, we don't know how, maybe by stampeding at a concert or something, or maybe they sacrificed him, who knows. But in the song Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, the final verse he sings, "When the kids would kill the man, I had to break up the band." The fall of Ziggy Stardust was eventually his fame and music and his mission to whatever he was here to do ended up and failed. But Ziggy played guitar. So here is Natasha and I singing the Bowie classic Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. Ziggy Stardust.
All right. Ziggy played guitar, jamming good with Weird and Giddy and the Spiders from Mars. He played in left hand, but made it too far. Came on so loaded band, well hung Snow White tan. Ziggy really sang, screwed up eyes and screw down hairdo like some cat from Japan. He could lick up by smiling, he could leave 'em to hang. Came on so loaded, man, well hung Snow White tan. So where were the spiders while the fly tried to break our bones? Just a beer light to guide us. Well, we bitched about as
ladies and gentlemen, Natasha.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Lyons.
BOWIE, thank you for listening, and I will see you again.
Giwabamin, Minowa.
Hoa.
Hoa. Ain't I blue? Yeah, 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 yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Miigwech, for watching Rockstar Cartoonist, the podcast about rock stars and cartoonists. My name is Michael Lyons, and I will see you again. Oh, if you'd like to support the show, where's my thing? Click the links below. You can support Rockstar Cartoonist at Patreon, PayPal, or GoFundMe. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share it on Facebook, Twitter, and whatever else. My Facebook page got hacked, so I can't share it anymore. Yeah, miigwech. See you next time.